Hello, welcome. In this short video, let us look at the complex plane and the conversions from the real and imaginary values to angle and the amplitude notation and vice versa. That is, given the complex plane, that is the real axis and the imaginary axis, and we have a number z which has two components, x, the real component is x, and the imaginary component is y. Then obviously its amplitude is equal to r and the angle is theta. So by using the trigonometric relations, we know that sine theta is equal to y by r, that is the opposite side by the hypotenuse, and the cos theta is equal to x by r, that is the adjacent side by the hypotenuse. Therefore, given r and theta, x and y can be easily calculated as x equal to r cos theta and y equal to r sin theta. Similarly, when x and y are given, we can calculate r and theta as follows. By simply squaring two equations, we have x square plus y square is equal to r square multiplied by cos square plus sin square theta, which is equal to r square. Therefore, r should be equal to square root of x square plus y square, which can be easily seen as the Pythagoras theorem here. That is, r square is equal to x square plus y square. Theta can be easily calculated by finding the ratio of these two equations. That is, y by x is equal to tan theta. Therefore, theta is equal to tan inverse of y by x. So, given x and y, we can easily calculate r and theta by using these two conversions. Now, assume that we know only r and tan theta. Let us look at if we can calculate both x and y from this information alone. That is, do we need to know the quadrant? For that, we have to basically plot the value of tan theta as a function of the independent variable theta. That is, let us look at the Python code. So this is basically a tan of the angle theta, which is represented by a vector here. So if we run the code, we can see that the value of tan theta basically reaches infinity at 90 degrees and also at minus 90 degrees. That means, and also it has same structure in the quadrant 1 and quadrant 3, and also same structure in quadrant 4 and quadrant 2. That is, assume that this is the theta axis. Then tan theta will look something like this. This is minus infinity and this is plus infinity. The angle should be equal to 90 degrees here and minus 90 degrees here. And the curve basically repeats in the other quadrants. That means this is the first quadrant. So this is quadrant 1 and this is quadrant 2 and this is quadrant 4 and this is quadrant 3. So, for example, if tan theta is positive, then we cannot know whether it is in quadrant 3 or quadrant 1. And similarly, if it is negative, we cannot know whether it is in quadrant 4 or quadrant 2. So, we also need to know the exact quadrant of the tan theta for calculating x and y. Thanks for watching.